YouTube, how the heck you doing? This is Corey here, Watcher of Realms. We went against Dragon Slayers 2, and it was not our best showing, to say the least. We learned some things. I learned some things. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get straight to it. I did go ahead and attack the guild leader first and foremost, just to show some respect. They are running a really interesting team. It is actually a Nastia and Cyrus team, so I hypothesized that this would be a team moving forward, or at least have the potential to be a team, and he made it. So I'm happy to go ahead and chow it. So what happens is, at least with these interactions, if we slow this down, is Cyrus is going to be the tank, right? And they're banking on Nastia being the Lord. Reason being is because Nastia is going to go ahead and give that additional, cost reduction, so units like Anora are going to ult more frequently. And then on top of it, it benefits because her Lord passive giving units additional damage per debuff that is on a unit makes it really viable for Anora, who's giving that percent damage. And then also Nastia, I believe she's going ahead and also inflicting those poisons as well herself. So very interesting comp. What they go ahead and do is they have Helga as well, because Helga is going to go and do the physical damage. So what we're really banking on is our tank surviving the hits from Helga. And if they're able to do that, we should have the ability to go ahead and basically develop a swarm here. In most cases, esoteric units don't even get close to bringing my tank to like 50% HP. So the fact that he was able to really just kind of showcases like what Helga is doing. The main detraction from that, however, is Helga is just not really able to go ahead and do any damage unless she's in ult. So obviously there's some placements that are going to be worked out eventually by players, but overall, we were able to kind of just start stacking up the tanks pretty effectively here, especially alongside the double healers. And then we're going to just start stacking up the necros once we get to that 10 cost, because at this point, even though Helga's ulting, we have Anora that's basically done with her ult. So these necros are going to spawn up and give us really good opportunity to just drop the dogs and get fully done with this map. So with that, we go ahead and drop the necros. Everything is healed up. So the skeletons are going to probably start pushing through here. And then right about now, we have the ability to drop dogs. And Anora's not even close to ult yet. So all these units are pushing through. We're looking really good. And in worst case scenario, we have the ability to drop another set of dogs, but we don't even need to worry about it. We've already pushed through here. It's a GG. So I like the team. I knew this was going to be something. I knew this was going to be like a composition. YouTube, Smile One is currently going ahead and offering some additional top-up rewards for whenever you go ahead and purchase W Gold through the website. So we're looking at a time frame from May 16th to May 25th. So it's a really long time. If you go ahead and purchase W Gold, you are getting rare summoning crystals, you're getting diamonds, stamina pots, you're even getting additional W Gold and legendary skill crystals whenever you get to some of those higher tiers. And also really importantly, they're even giving some additional bundles as well. So we're looking at some bonus bundles where you're getting some rare summoning crystals. You have the ancient summoning discount, which is actually really good. You're getting 25 ancients and diamonds and stamina pots. Is really nice. And then if you are curious, you have the ability to even get some recasting hammer bundles. So if you are curious just as to what all they are offering, go ahead and check the link in the description below. Thank you. I would love to see if there's a way for us to start, and I say us, but I mean like the community, obviously, right? To start using like Numera, like try to find a way to place her, because it'd be really interesting to see if Numera with her ult has the ability to just like one shot the tanks. And that way swarms are really like not effective at that point. Then we go ahead and attack this team. I don't know why I went ahead and attacked this team the way that I did. I realized after the fact that I attacked this like I was stupid, to be honest. So yeah, let's just go straight to it. What I should have done is I should have dropped double healers. They would have gone ahead and kept themselves alive. And then I could have gone ahead and started stacking up the tanks and then run it down with the dogs. But I didn't do that. I did this all types of wrong. So you can go ahead and watch this fail if you want. But I go ahead and drop the Pharaoh Guard. Lady Alexandra basically goes ahead and cross maps every single unit from 10,000 years away. Lovely unit. Lovely unit. And then, yeah. There really isn't much to say. Also, she's going to target these necros now. Goodbye. Right? All while the fact that she is not even doing anything. So that's why I had Lady Alexandria is probably the best unit in Guild Good right now, just because you go ahead and get her Divine Justice. You can basically cross map units from 10,000 years away. It's a GG. So pretty simple. We almost got through. If I was waiting, I could have probably dropped the double dogs and got a even better result. But because I stagger them, that also hurt. If I double dropped them, I might have still won. So just food for thought for the future, at least for myself. Double healers, then tanks, then dogs. Or if I'm just going to go 8-bit like I just did, at least drop the dogs at the same time. We go ahead and attack this other team. Now this is what is also interesting, right? Because Captain Reeve is really quickly, and even last season he was becoming really popular, but he has the ability to almost CC juggle units. Now one thing that I like about this comp, placement wise, is Reeve is right between Cyrus. So what does that mean? You can't go ahead and bomb this really. Reeve is going to tank it, and then Lily is going to go ahead and give the revive onto Praetus. So no unit is dying in this situation. So what I do is I go ahead and drop the Pharaoh Guard, and my main hope is I'm going to try to just swarm this if I have the ability to just tank, right? Like survive Praetus, survive Honora long enough, I should have the ability to go and win. The only thing that's really contingent is just how much damage does Honora do? Like if Honora is just chunking out damage, then yeah, I lose, but it's worth a shot, right? So we go ahead, drop the tank, drop the Fool, drop the second tank, and then we drop the healer. At this point, we should have enough sustain to just tank everything, right? At this, I'm not worried about my tanks dying. The only thing now is to go ahead and start setting up the necromancers so that we can go ahead and start surviving and building up the map to ideally drop dogs through. Now what you will see here is I drop the healer because I really just want to make sure that my tanks don't die. Then Honora ults. So the reason why we drop it is also just to give us some timing. But I troll on here because I probably didn't need to drop the second healer. I probably would have been better off dropping the double necros because as you can see, Reeve is going ahead and just passively stacking up his own ultimate. So by the time that the necros even really get to Reeve, he's going to have another set of ult ready to just stagger everything and just ruin the run. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit here. And bam, the second the necros start connecting with Reeve, bam, ult, CC chain, Honora, ready to go. The second, watch this. Let's just kind of speed this up. There we go. Honora's about to go ahead and ult, and look at all these units. Goodbye. They're just going to get chunked out here. So nothing is going well. And then Reeve is still ulting, mind you, right? So the necros aren't able to spawn up anything during this time period. And it's just bad news bears. At that point, it really is just a go next, unfortunately. So let's kind of speed this up here. Reeve is still tanking. They're also getting CC chained by the Cyrus, spawning up those skeletons. It's just not a good look. Not a good look. And that's how we lose. So there's obviously ways to beat it. A ton of ways. But yeah. Reeve, if I dropped the dogs earlier, would have been fine. Then we go ahead and attack this team. We are successful, thank the Lord, right? This is a Reeve Brokir team. This is kind of similar to a team that I run personally. They just have it placed backwards. I usually have my units kind of placed over here, but we do a normal strategy. We go ahead and swarm it. Thankfully, whenever there is an Ajax and a Praetus, there's not too much concern. The only real concern is the units getting juggled between Brokir and Reeve. So if we're able to just stack up the units in the back, then we're really good. And if we can just keep baiting out the Reeve ultimate and drop our units in a timing where Reeve is not ulting, then we're really good to just go ahead and win the round. So that's what we're really banking on, at least in this moment. So we have all the tanks set up. We have the healer here. The only thing left for us to really do is either start dropping healer, like the next healer, or drop the double necros. So we drop the double necros, and we're tanking. Perfectly enough for us though, right? Reeve is still just stacking up his ultimate. So by the time our necros connect over here, Reeve should go ahead and probably start proccing his ult. Here we go. Bam. Reeve is going to go ahead and ult right about now. and we drop the healer, just give ourselves some sustain because Ajax is going to ult by the time the healer connects over here. So as long as these units don't die, we win. Also, we're also kind of baiting out the Reeve ultimate. We just want to give it some additional time because as long as these units here are surviving, we're good. We don't care about these units dying though. Now that Ajax is ulted, that gives us the opportunity to go ahead and drop the dogs. And Reeve is ulting here, and it's right about to end. It's ended. The dogs are going to go push straight through here. And there's the W. It's all about baiting out that Reeve ultimate, timing it, and really playing around the Reeve. Whenever a Reeve is involved, that's the unit that's like the most focal point of the entire round. Just if you can time out the Reeve and play between his ultimates, you have a really, really good shot at winning. And then we go ahead and attack this final team here. This is a keep. I get juggled once again by Reeve and Cyrus. So, in my opinion, between the Esoteric Lords, Cyrus is the king. At least for Gilby Guild, he just does way too much, especially when paired with Reeve, right? So what happens here is this is basically a stall comp. So whenever you see Cyrus placed forward, the whole purpose is usually also with a Boreas, mind you, but the whole purpose is going to stall you out because your tanks are going to start hitting this unit, and then whenever they start pushing through here, the other unit, Honora in this case, is going to go ahead and ult, right? So all these units are going to start getting chunked. There we go. They're getting chunked. And then secondly, Reeve and then Cyrus are going to go ahead and have their ults. So Reeve is going ahead and stunning everything. Cyrus is going to spawn a skeleton and re-trigger these units to get stuck here now. So whenever Honora ults again, these units are also going to get hit in the process. So it's really just a whole setup to just keep the units outside and only hit whenever they are pushing through, getting hit by the ults, and ideally just getting wiped out. So we go ahead, drop the Necros, and our main goal is to just kind of tank a little bit, especially with the healer. And if we are able to survive, then we win, right? But the thing that's most important, once again, is Reeve right here. So we have all these units stacked up pretty nicely. And Honora's ulting, she's almost done with her ult. But what happens is Reeve ults now. And the second he goes ahead and ults, all these units get stun locked. And it's instant loss from that point on. So Reeve is literally the engine that makes this team run because of his CC. Anyways, there really isn't that much more to showcase. I just get juggled for 10,000 years now that all the units are dead, basically. But Reeve is the MVP. See ya.